Boyfriend, back another one. Yo, make sure you hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yo, Joe Budden talked about Pat McAfee, basically being able to do whatever he want to do, right? And the fact that LeBron James chose that platform in spite of Stephen A. Smith kind of went to his competitor on the same platform as him. But it kind of ended with them comparing this to Drake's situation, Drake and Joe Budden. And I'm going to get a little more in depth about that situation because that's kind of what we do on this channel.
Stephen A. is him in his world. LeBron James saying anything, Drake saying anything to anybody, like it's media's media.
Yeah, but all right, use your Drake example.
I agree with that.
Use your Drake example though.
Drake
Like,
sitting down one time with Aiden Ross is media.
Oh, but Joe, stick to that example.
Go ahead.
Use you for example.
Don't
you
use
say,
it.
no, I have to.
Right,
You say it's up when you and Drake engage.
Oh yeah, no, it's up.
So that's what from the Stephen A side, I got LeBron to engage, my nigga. It's up. I want that to be up.
Well, that's why I didn't want to use me and Drake, because him and LeBron, they're saying that we haven't fucked with each other for, well, maybe that's me and Drake.
You and Drake. I've been saying y'all don't fuck with each other.
It's
I kept telling you, y'all don't fuck with each other like that.
The way LeBron did that interview was Drake-ish.
They just make it sound like it's been 15 years.
Bro,
and
if
nobody
Drake
is.
gets
No,
on,
I don't feel like that about
if Drake
Drake.
gets online tomorrow,
It's been 10.
It might
Yeah,
not be the
yeah.
same.
Same
but
shit.
if Drake gets online tomorrow and a huge part of his 1 hour interview is 25 minutes of it is directed at Joe Budden, you welcome that. You definitely welcome that. If 25 minutes of his 1 hour interview is basically headed,
No matter good
headed
bad,
your way,
he's addressing you. You want that.
Boy,
It's up.
I know you're gonna come in here like, hey,
Paywall next episode, nigga.
What?
Pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Pat McAfee for Stephen A. represents Joe Rogan to me in the Spotify deal. He came in, new way of doing things. They're allowing him to curse. They're giving him the big guests, and the Aaron Rodgers, the other guests that we're not seeing on first
Well,
take.
he had them for.
But Aaron Rodgers was his man prior to him even getting that.
he had them for.
That's part of what we said was his leverage.
That's his
Yeah,
leverage.
that's his leverage. Yeah.
I got something that y'all can't
But it
get.
ain't just Aaron Rodgers. It's Bill Belichick. It's there's a different caliber and cachet to the guests that are on Pat McAfee versus what we have been seeing lately from First Take. That matters here.
Okay.
That matters here.
Okay.
So now you have LeBron James, who doesn't do this at all, coming to park on the show directly after you for 1 hour, totally unfiltered. What that does for the ratings of what somebody is looking at as your competitor, you don't want that to continue. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I don't think you
Because when you go clap back, and he did clap back, it will never be as loud as, one, LeBron clapping back, and two, a strategic, meticulous, petty LeBron clapping back. Because that move with Pat McAfee is a petty move.
Absolutely.
I love the pettiness of the move, but that's a business-altering move. It's not just a, hey, we chit-chatting back and forth.
That's where I disagree.
I disagree too.
You can disagree all you want. It's what ESPN is looking like.
Yeah, but
This
with
ain't my call.
Now, yes, this is very similar to as if Joe Budden and Drake were to go against each other, and Drake would be, of course, LeBron James in the situation, and Stephen A. Smith would be Joe Budden, right? Because media versus entertainer, or sports person versus media, right? Think about the fact, because Joe Budden doesn't see the fact of how much Stephen A. Smith is also benefiting on this, right? Because he's pointing on the one side, but Stephen A. Smith is benefiting a lot off of this. Not only did Stephen A. Smith only sign a $120 million deal, he's also getting the best ratings he's ever gotten on YouTube, and ESPN is also, viewership has gone up tremendously. All right, so this is great for entertainment. But Stephen A. Smith pride and ego might have taken a bigger shot, right? Because now he has to be more brash and more like cutthroat, rather than before he was trying to play it all nice and stuff like that until LeBron James went into his face. So when you take that in consideration, take the fact that Drake would have most likely done the same thing, basically lash out on Joe Budden in paragraphs like, oh, I hate you, oh, your career is a failure, oh, you're just an epitome of this and that, basically, right? Joe Budden, anytime that he goes after Drake or anytime Drake goes after him, Joe Budden gets the best numbers right after, and people, blogs, everybody, we go straight to our mics and we got to record about it because it's definitely breaking news, right? So when you have someone as big as that always talking about you, especially if he goes on the show like Pat McAfee talk for you for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that is going to do stupid numbers for not only Pat McAfee, but also Joe Budden, right? Or also Stephen A. Smith in this situation. So if you guys understand, the correlation is very similar, very, very similar. But to me, I was also thinking about this beef between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith being a lot like Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And I feel like Stephen A. Smith might be on the side of the Kendrick Lamar side, even though Stephen A. Smith is a lot more guilty than he is innocent in this, right? But in terms of LeBron James kind of being fake and phony to the people who's kind of been consistent with him, like Brian Windhorst, which was like the media blog person that always talks highly of LeBron James as he was in junior high school, like to just call him out for what? Call him weird for what? It makes no sense, right? But LeBron James has no loyalty to the people that shows him the utmost loyalty. Shannon Sharpe has showed him the most loyalty, and to me, in fact, promoted LeBron James and his brand a lot more by basically making him seem like he's the GOAT in all these theatrics for people to tune in and watch when he was on Undisputed. And the fact that LeBron James has not went on his show, and I don't even like Shannon Sharpe like that, but the fact that he didn't even go on his show reminds me of Drake not going on Academics show. Academics and Shannon Sharpe showed LeBron James and Drake the most loyalty ever. Yet those two people never go support them, but LeBron James and Drake will go to an Aiden Ross or an XQC, and LeBron James will go to a Steve Nash and basically a JJ Redick or who he's with now, Pat McAfee, right? So it's basically, if you guys notice the correlation, Drake could have went to Kai Cenat. Drake could even went to Speed or whoever else, right? Or even this new guy, Blackboy Max, right? But all of a sudden, he just chooses to go to Aiden Ross and XQC or whatever his name is, right? Same thing with LeBron. You could have went to literally anyone else. You could have went to Shannon Sharpe and aired out your grievances because Shannon Sharpe did 1 million views with Cat Williams. And not even 1 million views with Cat Williams. This is like way more, right? We broke records with Cat Williams. You don't think LeBron James airing out Stephen A. Smith in a drunk session? You know, they both drink. LeBron drinks all day. So it doesn't make any sense why he would not want to go to that type of setting. And it'll also profit Shannon Sharpe pockets, and it'll do the same thing. But now you put the money into basically a melanated person, and we have you in museums of the greatest Black American history persons in history, whatever, right? You got yourself in museums constantly for Black this, Black that, but yet you help no Black platforms. That reminds me of Drake, very similar. Drake could constantly help a lot of Black podcasters or shows just by showing up and giving an interview or a conversation or something. It'll promote not just the Black community or Black people in general, or show you unity. It'll also promote hip-hop itself, right? So LeBron James going to someone like Pat McAfee who doesn't know hip-hop doesn't make any sense to me. No, I mean, doesn't know basketball, it doesn't make any sense to me. Pat McAfee doesn't study LeBron James or study the NBA. Look at the answers or the questions that he was asking. It was absolutely horrible. It was fast. It was like he literally just took Adderall. He took some type of pill that just made him go 100%. And he wasn't even focused at all. Like, he was just speedballing all these questions. Anybody like that is just not a good interviewer or doesn't know anything about the sport that they're talking about or the thing that they're talking to the interviewee about. So you guys gotta understand, all this stuff to me correlates and it all goes in like a ball, right? So let me know what y'all did in the comments below. I covered a lot of different topics, just gave my well-rounded thoughts on this situation, because for me, there's a lot of things to be said and a lot of things that play in the situation, but for me, it's way more LeBron James being fake to me, and I feel like nobody is talking about that enough. And it's not about his child, it's about him not being in the GOAT status in Stephen A. Smith eyes. He takes that personally because everybody has to show him undeniable loyalty, and he doesn't have to show that to you, right? Sounds very similar. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. It's been Boy from back another banger, man. Peace.